Building with Purpose, How Brands Thrive Through Community and Culture. We have panelists Malik Ducard, Chief Content Creator, let me do that right. Let's do this right. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, we have Malik Ducard. Thank you, Malik. Oh, he's so nice. Thank you. Okay. Chief Content Officer over at Pinterest. Then we have Donna Kirkland, VP Global Marketing at Tarte Cosmetics. And then we have Kristen Marie Nicholas, founder, Christine Marie Studio, and award-winning journalist, Gia Peppers. Welcome to the stage. Come on in. Hey. Hello.
Like a mechanical bull. Bucket.
Okay.
Bucket. A good night. Flow money is full.
Have a blast.
Look at that horse.
I'm having too much fun. Okay. Have fun.
Wow. Hi, BBR. Oh, it's always the prettiest room. Y'all look so good. Wow. This is amazing. Okay. So we'll get right to it because you all are the people that we want to hear from. You all build and create the experiences for us to connect with you all. And so we're so excited to have you here today. The first question that I have for all of you is, how does your company define culture and community? And Donna, I'll start with you.
Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Everybody looks amazing. At Tarte, we define community. It's really about building strong bonds through authentic connections and really through shared interests. Like for us, we are driven by 4 key principles. It's about kindness, giving back, paying it forward, and lifting others up. That's really about Tarte's identity.
I love that. That's so good.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm so happy to be here. So the way Pinterest, we define community and culture, we see them intersecting, but not necessarily the same thing. So for community, when our users, pinners, and who here is on Pinterest? Lot of love for Pinterest. So when you come to the platform, you're coming for a thing. You're coming to do something. You're coming to be inspired by something. Find, do, create. And our communities really cluster around those interests. Is it home decor? Is it fashion, beauty? Is it, are you looking for a recipe? So one way we think about it is community is a circle of people with like-minded interests who are coming to really make things happen. When we think about culture, we really think about a mirror. Like, as a platform with a lot of users, we want our platform to not make the culture. That's not our job. That's what your job is. That's what you do every day. And we want to be a platform that reflects how our users, how creators interact. So we think about it almost as a mirror, a reflection.
I love that. I was just telling Malik backstage, how many people think Pinterest is a safe space? Yeah, like when I don't feel like hearing noise and stuff, I go on my Pinterest, and next thing you know, I have an LLC, and then I got $1 million and an ab routine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I need. So thank you. Thank you so much. And Kristen, girl, your jewels are out here eating it up. I have to ask you the same question. Yeah.
So at Kristen Marie Studio, one thing we like to do to make sure we cultivate community is involvement. So you'll see that in a lot of things we do. We're big on TikTok Shop. We're big on going live, which is like a huge wave right now. So we want to make sure we're involving everybody in every step, making sure that they can see the process and they can see what goes into it, and just staying truly organic. And also just having a lot of fun, like being real, like personable, like on our streams, like you can interact, and making sure that we're listening to the comments and we're seeing what people want and making them feel like they are a part of what's going on in the process, because they very much are. So, yeah.
I love that. Can I ask you, Audible, did you feel cringe the first time you went live? And if so, how did you get over it?
Girl, yes. Well, how I actually got over it is my TikTok account manager had to fly from New York and make me go live. Like, she was like, you have to do this. Like, I see something, like, you have to do it. So she got on a flight, all the way from New York to LA, and she came and she made a stream. And let's say I started my first stream. They didn't have any expectations. They're like, "Oh, just get your feet wet, blah blah." And then I made $1,000.
Wow.
And then, and then very shortly after, we did a stream where we actually made $100,000. So she was right, but if she didn't hop on that flight and come make me do it, I'm not sure I would have. But yes,
That's
I'm grateful
amazing.
for that.
Congratulations. That's
Yay,
amazing.
Thank you.
I have to ask all of you, because this room is filled with creators and people who are in this industry and looking to partner with amazing brands like yours. In your experience, what metrics or signals help you decide which creators to build community with? What do you look for when engaging with creators and or small businesses? And Malik, I'll start with you this time.
Sure. So, what I would say, I would start with, from a platform standpoint, a platform that has over 600 million users worldwide. What is our platform about? And you said it at the beginning. We really try to make it a safe space, a positive space, especially in a sea of toxicity that's out there on the internet in general. Yeah. So one way that we do that is through really focusing our platform on sort of the signals that matter and last longer. There's when people like something, liking something when you're on a platform, that's a good signal. But
Sorry, guys, I'm so sorry. We're trying to keep this panel. The people are trying to learn. Can you just thank you, babies? All right, amen. Go ahead, Malik.
All right, thank you. Give it up, Gia.
Yes, Gia.
So when you think about something that you like it now, but it might go away. When you think about something that you save, when you save that piece of content or that idea, when you think about the things that you save in the real world, things that you want to come back to, things that mean a lot to you, we actually bend the arc of our algorithm on Pinterest towards signals like saves.
Wow.
So that really drives more kind of like sturdier types of experiences. And then the other type of content that really intersects with that a lot is positive content. What's content that's not about like drama, that's not about what's the thing of the day that gets people. Like, we don't believe that rage is a sustainable business model. We don't try to drive engagement through enragement.
Wrap that up, please.
So you all, like creators like you who really like uplift and inform, that's what our platform leans towards and rewards.
I love that. Thank you for not buying into the rage baiting of it all, because my nervous system feels so much better on Pinterest. Just thank you. Thank you. Kristen, I will ask you the same question. What signals or things do you look for when partnering with creators and small businesses?
I love to look for creators and collaborations who are already familiar with the brand. So I like to see creators who have already purchased or they're already sharing. Y'all know how they be like, oh, Beyonce on the internet, like she see everything. That's how I feel. Like when I'm scoping out my brand, I'm seeing who's already having that connection with it, who's already promoting it, who's already like has that sense of like, I like it, I love it, so that when we expand on that partnership, it's very genuine. The audience is already familiar, they're already responsive, and they truly like the product, and they aren't just promoting it because there's a dollar sign behind it, and then that just leads to a really organic partnership and like growing the audience mutually.
I love that. I love that. And thank you for allowing me to rock some of your jewels on the carpet at the Ebony Power 100 the other day. I appreciate you, sis.
You're welcome. You looked good,
Child,
girl.
you looked good too. Okay. Now, Donna, I have to ask you the same question. What do you look for in creators and collaborators?
It's not an exact science for us at Tarte. We have creators that we work with that have millions of followers, and we have creators that we work with that have less than 5,000. And both of them sometimes end up on the same Trippin' with Tarte with us.
Wow.
Honestly, what we're looking for is, are you building a community within your own platform that really supports you. When we're watching your stories and we're following you, what level of engagement does your own audience have with you? Because that's what we want. We want to see, like, it could be because of your incredible fashion sense, or your clever hot takes, your travel insights, your family antics, your sense of humor, you know, like anything, your courageous vulnerability on social media. And what we want to see, does your audience want to see you win? That's your superpower, that's the flex, and that's what we're looking for, because when we see how your audience reacts to the things that you're doing, your authentic self that you're showing every single day on social media, that's what draws us in and helps us and makes us want to rock with you guys too.
I love that. That's so good. That's good to know. 5,000 to
Listen, we've had creators on our trips that had less than 5,000 followers,
amazing.
but every time they post something, 4,800 of them, of their audience, is saying that they love them and they want to see them. We've had people who've gotten creators who had other audience members of theirs really advocate to us, sending us DMs every day. I know you don't know this creator, but you need to know this creator in your life. That's the secret sauce that you guys are giving. It's no longer about the numbers. It's no longer about how many likes you're getting. We all know that sometimes there are people out there, no one in this room, that's paying for likes and things like that. It's really just about, like, what does your audience want from you? Are they also celebrating your journey? When we're looking for that, that's what we want to see, and that's who we want to be part of our journey too.
That's beautiful. Yeah, clap that up. This is such a supportive audience. I just love it here. Malik, you know, I'm going to come back to you because I want to get into this inclusion fund as well. It was designed to support emerging content suppliers on Pinterest. Why was this important to the brand, and how does it actually build community and culture on your end?
I'm sure. And thanks for the question. You know, the inclusion fund is something that Pinterest has been doing for 5 years, and it's more than fun. And actually, fund is almost like the wrong name for it, even though we named it that. It is more about supporting diverse creators across a spectrum of diversity, creators of color, LGBTQ+, disabilities, businesses and merchants, and global as well. And the reason that we do this is to really help to inform creators on how to be successful on Pinterest, provide counsel, provide resources, and also and ultimately provide our users who look like the world and look like diverse communities, help our users see content that reflects them. So that's been really central to our efforts. Now, I say it's more than the Inclusion Content Fund because it goes beyond content. At Pinterest, we have really invested in what we call inclusive products and features. So it's one thing to have content from great creators. It's another thing to make sure that it's surfacing so that people see it. And we have seen experiences that I'm sure we're all familiar with, where when you go into search and you're looking for hairstyle, you have to append Black women, and we shouldn't have to add the plus adjective or phrase. So what we've done is invested in hair texture and style filters, so you can default or filter your Pinterest to look like you. We've added a skin tone filter so you can have your Pinterest look like you in your community. We've added a body shape and size filter, and not only filter that you have to go in and turn a knob, it's also building in diversity by default. When we talk about diversity, sometimes we make it sound like, hey, you have to add something. It's actually broken when it's not inclusive and when it's not reflective, and these are some of the areas that we're investing in. It's the right thing to do, but I'd say really drive sustainability, it is the business thing to do, because we see that with these features, we see 75% more engagement, more saves by doing this. So it is the right thing for the business, and it's the right thing for users and pinners who come to the platform.
Feel free to add a gray hair, don't care filter on that as well, okay? A little silver fox filter. No?
Can we make some noise for the hair? No. We're going to get now. If you're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. That's some good hair, okay? Now, speaking of hair, Donna, real quick, because I remember seeing all the beautiful women on that Tripping with Tart experience. Y'all remember that? Was anybody else like, dang, I wish I could go? First of all, I want to go. I want to go. And raise your hand if you want to go. Dang,
Wait,
you
wait,
got a jet?
Here's my team. They're going to take a picture. They're taking the pictures. They're taking the pictures. I see you guys.
Don't forget over here. I'm right here.
There
All
are
right.
some in the audience who have gone.
Oh,
on a
who's
trip
gone?
with Tart. There's a few.
Yes.
I see you. Janae's back there.
Yes.
Where's Justine Camera Roll? She's been on a trip with Tart.
Yes. We love our audience. Okay. We know that Tripping with Tart, that experience has been seen as a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but at the root of it is community. Can you talk more about how community and culture have evolved into the Tart ethos, and even where this idea came from for this takeover?
I mean, okay, so Tripping with Tarts are infamously famous and famously infamous. It's crazy. This year actually marks our 10-year of Tripping with Tart. Yay! And we honestly, we consider ourselves the pioneers of the ultimate brand experience. But it really, if you ask Maureen, our founder, Maureen Kelly, it really started from a very humble notion, 10 years ago with a very limited fund and a really small marketing budget. How do you compete and disrupt in the beauty industry when all the other brands are really outspending you on commercials and advertising and billboards? What do you do? So what she decided to do was grab a handful of the social media powerhouses, invite them on a trip for a weekend, and ask them to bring their community along for the ride. And it worked. And 10 years later, that's really the formula for a Trippin' with Tart. We want to create a once-in-a-lifetime experience for those who go. And for those who can't go, we want to invite them along the ride, because the big thing for us is working with creators who have a community behind them that just want to see them win. So when they succeed, we all succeed. We're in it together kind of like vibe. Those are the creators that we want to rock with. Our Trippin' with Tarts, we have like a really fun time. We have like a really wild time. But it's a time together that like it doesn't end there. In fact, it's usually just the beginning of a really beautiful friendship that continues to grow long after the flight home. For us, it's really important as a team member who goes on the trips. Our sole goal for our staff is to get to know the creators, to build a relationship with them, and to really start to see what the future looks like. If you ask any of the people who've gone on the trip who are here today, it's very little product focus. It's almost to our detriment that we get called out, that we don't even talk about the product, because honestly, it's not our intention. Our intention is really to like we want to know who you are. We want you to see us. We want to see you. We want to get to know you better, and we want to build a future together. That's what our Trip and Split are about. We have one Maureen has started to tease on TikTok coming up. We haven't started sending stuff out yet, but we took pictures of everyone who raised their hand. So could be one of you guys. Let's figure this out. I'll be here later. But yeah, so that's our Trip with Tart.
Congratulations on that. That's amazing. Oh, I love it. Okay. So one of my favorite things hearing so far, Kristen, about your story is that it went from 1K to 100K. I mean, girl. And the jewels, she's rocking the jewels if you don't know, honey. on TikTok Shop. And I think that's so amazing just to watch you in your element in this way. But can you tell us more about your growth story and how important were the aspects of culture and community, and how do you really keep them engaged with you on this rise?
So everything ties in so beautifully. So to start a little bit about my story, I started by myself in my living room, on my living room floor, just making things. And I would make things for myself, and it was resonating with people. They asked, "Oh, where can I get it?" And I would, "Oh, I can make it. I can make you one." And then it just was this process of just natural organic growth. So in that, when I was doing these things, I was just, taking people along the line, along the journey with me, and just showing the process and posting it on TikTok and just sharing what I was doing. And I think that that just built the community naturally. Not only were people interested in the product, but they were interested in seeing how it went and how to do it, because I think that's super important as far as representation and feeling like I want to empower people to know, like, you can do this too. Like, I literally started on my living room floor, and you can do it too. And just being that kind of like vision and providing that insight into, it's not all glitz and glam, like sharing the woes, sharing what's going on, and also making sure people feel a part of the process. A big thing that I like to focus on in community is actually like listening to the audience and listening to my community and seeing what they want, what they need, what's missing. A huge part of our brand is inclusivity. So the thing with jewelry a lot of the times is there's just kind of this missing. It's either like super expensive or very low quality, but I wanted that middle ground that feels very luxurious and is still an experience, and not just limited to, oh, just one size fits all. Like, you should be able to curate it the way that you want, tell me what you want, and then I will show you how I do it. So
I love that. What is when you think about, engaging with your community and listening to them, what's one thing that you didn't think of that one time your community told you to do that turned out to be extremely successful?
ooh, there's this one piece that I'm not gonna say I hate it, but I like it now. But they were asking for this one piece, and just because me personally, I didn't resonate with it, I was like, oh, whatever, like, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. And then I was like, you know what, y'all want it, let me make it. So went in the lab, did it, and it sold out immediately. And it's still on our website now. It's our twisted butterfly necklace. I don't know if people are, actually, no, I saw somebody wearing it today. So I'm sorry, girl. I hated it at first, but I love it. And it's super cute on you. She had it in her little bow tie. It was in her tie. It was really cute. But yeah, that's definitely one of the things that, yeah.
I love that. Listen to the people. I love that. So Malik, in many instances, we have felt that with technology, we become an afterthought. And Pinterest has done a lot of great work on the platform to ensure that it's inclusive, which we love. And we've got to talk more about Pinterest's relationship and journey with technology and culture. When you think about even activating in spaces like this and showing up and creating community not only online but in person, what do you all try to make sure is in the space before you show up, and what type of community are you trying to make sure is with you in real life and off on screen?
I think it's very important for us to be proximate, to be with and in the community and around the community. So one way that we think about that also is through our teams. Where are our teams based? What's the makeup of our teams? Do our teams understand it beyond numbers on a spreadsheet and understand it because they're living it and in it? And I would start, from the Pinterest standpoint, like even our C-suite is the most diverse C-suite in all of tech. 50% women,
That's amazing.
3 African American. Like it's what the world and what the country looks like, and it's what a C-suite should look like. And add to it, or I think, flowing from that, we've had a very strong business. We've had the highest user growth that we've had in the history of our company. Wow. We've grown a lot with Gen Z, which is our fastest growing audience, and now makes up more than 50% of Pinterest. Wow. And what's interesting about that is typically when a platform gets older, the younger people are like, nah, I'm good. And we're kind of defying that gravity or that physics. As the platform gets older, we actually get more engaged and more cool with the youth to the point where they are the largest audience on the platform. So I think being proximate and really looking at how and where are our teams and how can we help them to thrive so that we can help those thrive on the platform is very, very top of mind for us.
I love that. I love that note about the C-suite and how diverse it is, especially now. But I also just have to say thank y'all for not changing the interface too much because, you know, yeah, come on. Because these updates on these other apps every day is nothing that we ask for. Nothing.
The photo app.
Not one thing. I just want my chronological Jesus.
Well, well, thanks for saying that. And we really try to listen.
Yes.
And we are not perfect by any stretch.
Yeah.
I think that the process of listening, being close to your users, being close to creators, being close to audiences. So when we step out of bounds, we can get back in. When we try to innovate, like back on the inclusive products, like the filters, we didn't just sit in a room and say, how are we going to do a skin tone filter? We work with creators. We didn't just say, what are we going to do with hairstyle filters? We actually got in the zone with creators, so it wasn't our work product. It was the collective work product that really drove that. So
that's amazing. Well, thank you for that. So Donna, I have to also ask you about your initiatives, the new community playbook, which is also focused on authentic community engagement beyond marketing. How has that approach changed the way you measure brand success?
It's interesting how we've taken a different approach to measuring brand success. Of course, we look at sales performance and financial metrics, but if we really want to walk the walk of saying that our values are steeped in building long-term relationships, we have to adjust the way that we think about success. It has to be a bigger picture. It has to be an overview. We can't rely just on quarterly financial statements. When I think about some of the things that we really love to do at TAR is our collaborations with creators. We do quite a few of them. We recently did one with Candy Lover 89, who is a good friend of the brand and was a panelist on this very stage last year. And it started super organically. We met Candy one time and a few years back, and she started following us, and we started following her, and we just started to support each other from afar. And every time we supported each other, we got a little closer and closer together. And eventually, we decided we're going to do a bundle together. And we worked together on figuring out the product. We worked together on what the packaging would look like. We worked together on what the offer would be. And, in less than 2 weeks, Candy sold out completely. It was ridiculous. She hit it out the park. We had no idea. She beat all of our forecasts. But I think what the most impressive part of the whole process is that we went into that relationship with Candy intentionally not planning to make money, because 100% of the proceeds of the sales of her bundle went to a charity of Candy's choice.
Wow.
And it was to the Hispanic Heritage Foundation. Thank you. Give it up for Candy. Don't give it up for me. Give it up for Candy.
But y'all too. Candy couldn't do that without y'all now.
And we do that with quite a few of our collaborations. That's part of our brand ethos, is giving back and paying it forward. But I think what it really says is it says that we're a brand that is not about the monetization of our friendship. It is really about supporting each other. It's really about, Candy felt really strong about wanting to do something for this organization. We wanted to support Candy's initiative in that, and we celebrated together by coming up with a bundle that she worked on with us to give back to an organization that felt very near and dear to her heart. And that, for me, is a clear example of how we measure success at Tarte, because for us, that relationship that was built very organically years ago has manifested into this moment for us to be able to do some really good together. That, for me, is success.
That's real good. That made my heart happy. Oh. Okay, so
She is my new best friend, guys.
I told you he was gonna cut up. I told you he was gonna cut up. So the closing question, and first of all, I just have to thank each of you for sharing your insights. I learned so much. I'm sure everyone in the audience did. Thank you for the spaces that you hold down, and thank you for the ways that you show up for us, especially now. So the last question that I have, and I'll be coming to you first, Kristen, just so you're ready, baby. What is one principle of community or culture that you believe every brand should never compromise on, and how will you support that principle going forward?
So that's kind of a two-part question for me in relation to my brand, but I would definitely say never compromise your morals, not for a person, not for a paycheck, not for anything like that, because that will be reflected in you personally. That's going to be reflected in your brand and your audience, and then people can't trust you, and then you kind of, lose part of yourself. So just make sure you stand tough on the things that, and stand firm in what you believe in, and make sure that resonates across your brand. The second part to that, I will also, I like to maintain transparency. That's in my pricing, that's in my product, that's in my materials, and just making sure that people, know everything and the sourcing process and things like that, and that builds a certain level of trust. And you want to make sure you stay connected with that, your audience through that way. So, and it's a learning process too. Like you're learning alongside me sometimes. So, I think it definitely helps and make sure we stay strong in that.
That's dope. That's really dope. Malik, I'll go to you.
I'd say one thing that we won't compromise on, and one thing that fuels us, is staying aggressively focused on our users, the people who come to the platform, the people who thrive on the platform, creators, pinners, and making a space where they come together. And in that, I think inclusion is central, because inclusion is a reflection of the reality. And I think that sometimes the world might want to push the efforts away, and staying aggressively focused on what's right for your users, no matter what's being set up here. Like that I think is key and job number one.
Thank you. Thank you for that, truly. And Donna, last but not least, child.
I'm sorry, I just got caught up because Miss Danessa
Danessa
Myrick
Myrick,
just
I
sat
know.
down, and she is
I know.
she is a beacon of light and energy and all of that. And I just want to say I love you down, girl. I love you down.
Because I was about to do it, but I don't want to end the conversation.
it's just
I was gonna wait till the
saying,
end, but
I can't wait. I mean, she's incredible. No, I think the biggest thing as a brand, and personally, I feel this really personally, you can't compromise on the power of kindness. I think it's really important to understand that it was interesting that he said that what is successful for them on Pinterest is not doing the rage sort of content, but I think you can't compromise on kindness. I think it's a really powerful metric to use. I think you will be surprised in your careers on a personal level, on a professional level, how far being kind goes. I think it's important to realize what you can do with kindness. It is free. You can also kill people with it. It's like a whole thing. You can just do a lot with kindness. And I think we just need more of it, especially now in the world. I mean, I just think that's, for me, I'm so happy that I work for a brand that really believes it's one of their 4 guiding principles. It's really important to come up with a brand and say one of the things we will never negotiate on are these 4 things. And for one of them, the number one thing to be kindness really spoke to my soul. I'm soon to be celebrating 7 years at Tarte, and thank you. And I'm just happy to work for a brand that really, appreciates and celebrates my worth, that values my contribution and my voice. Tarte is a brand built on female entrepreneurship. When I think about your story, I think about Maureen's story. She started in this 1-bedroom apartment. She started making one product in her kitchen, and here we are 25 years later, 35 different countries, 200 employees, and something that you said, we are an all-female C-suite. which is actually really rare in the beauty industry, sadly. You know, I've been in the beauty industry for over 20 years. That is not normal, unfortunately. And I think it's really cool because we're a brand really built on female entrepreneurship. Maureen's big thing is to always say empowered women, empower women. We're a brand built on female empowerment. We have a talented team of women that their voices are always being heard, from our president who's been with the company for over 20 years to the intern that just started last week. They all have a seat at our table. And I think it really shows because we are built on kindness. I think that's what you can never compromise on. And I think you should understand that that power is louder and bigger and stronger and more sustainable than anything else. That's my thing.
That's great. That's amazing. Well, thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Donna. And thank you, audience.
Thank you, Gia.
Thank y'all. We love y'all, and we'll see you soon. And thank you, Maud.